In this video, I will discuss about what is retina and its gross structures. What is retina? The retina is the innermost layer of the eyeball. Here, this is the outermost layer of the eyeball, that is sclera. This is the middle layer of the eyeball, that is uvea, and that is the innermost layer, that is our retina. Now the characteristic features of retina: one, it is very thin structure. Two, it is transparent. And three, it is light sensitive. Now, though I have mentioned that it is transparent, but if you see, it looks like reddish in color. The actual color of retina is purplish red. There are two reasons why the retina is purplish red. One, due to visual purple of rod cells, and two, due to the reddish choroid behind the retina. So although the retina is transparent, due to the visual purple of the rod cells and the reddish color of the choroid, because choroid consists blood vessels which are red in color, these two factors lead the retina to be appears purplish red. Our retina extends from optic disc to ora serrata. Here, this is our optic disc, and the terminal point of the retina is ora serrata. Here, this is the area of ora serrata. And our retina extends from optic disc till ora serrata. Now let's know division of our retina. Our retina is divided into two distinct parts. One is posterior pool and other is peripheral retina. So this portion is posterior pool of the retina, and the area behind it is peripheral retina, and the line that divides these two division is called equator of the retina. So this portion is posterior pool and this portion is peripheral retina. In the posterior pool, we have two important structures, that is optic disc and macula. And in the peripheral area, we have ora serrata anteriorly and equator posteriorly. Now in the coming slide, we will know details about equator, ora serrata, posterior pool and the peripheral retina. Now let's know about the retinal equator. Retinal equator is an imaginary line aligning with the exit of the vortex veins. Here in this figure, these are the vortex vein emerging from the back of the eye, and if we connect those vein with a imaginary line, then it will create a circle like this, which is called retinal equator. This is the posterior view. Means we are seeing the eyes from the back, and this is the lateral view. Here it will be the equator. So the structures behind the equators, this area is the posterior pole. Here this area is the posterior pole, and the structures or the part of the retina anterior to the equator is peripheral retina. From equator to ora serrata, this is ora serrata. So this is the peripheral retina. Now we will know details about this posterior pole separately and this peripheral retina separately in the coming slides. Now let's know details about the posterior pole. The posterior pole have two critical structures, one optic disc and two macula. If this is the figure of posterior pole of the retina, then this is the optic disc and this area is the macula. Now we will know in details about optic disc and macula separately in the coming slide. Here is our optic disc. So this is the magnified image of the optic disc. The optic disc is well defined circular area. It is circular and pink in color. Why it is pink? The color of optic disc is pink because the nerve fiber that pass through the optic disc are translucent, and those translucent optic nerve are supplied by the tiny blood vessels or capillaries which are red in color that give the appearance of pink color of the optic disc. The diameter of optic disc is 1.5 mm and all the retinal layers terminate here in this area and only optic nerve fiber enter through the optic disc. And in the optic disc it contains a central depression. It's called physiological cup where the central retinal artery and vein emerge. So this central retinal artery and veins emerge through this physiological cup. So the overall summary of the optic disc is its shape is circular, the color of the optic disc is pink, the diameter of the optic disc is 1.5 mm, and the passage content is only nerve fiber pass through the optic disc. All the retinal layer terminate before entering the optic disc, and it contains a physiological cup through which central retinal artery and vein enter into the eye. Now let's know details about the macula in the next slide. Here this is the posterior pole and this is our magnified macula. The macula located temporal to the optic disc. Here this is the fundus of our right eye, so the nose will be here. So this will be the nasal side and this will be the temporal side. So the macula situated always temporal to the optic disc. Now the diameter of the macula is 5.5 millimeter and the color of the macula is deeper red. Now in the center of the macula there is a depressed part of 1.5 mm, this area, which is called Fovea centralis. And at the center of the Fovea centralis there is a shining pit of 0.35 millimeter. that is called foveola. Here this is the shiny pit at the center of the fovea centralis, which is called foveola. Now the foveola, that is here, is two discs away from the optic disc. So if the diameter of the optic disc is 1.5, then one optic disc, two optic discs. So it will be total 1.5 and 1.5, total 3 mm temporal to the optic disc. Now including the foveola, there is an area of 0.8 mm where there is no blood vessels or capillaries, which is called foveal avascular zone. So overall summary is, the location of the macula is temporal to the optic disc, the color of the macula is deeper red, the diameter of the macula is 5.5 mm, and at the center there is fovea centralis and its diameter is 1.5 mm, and at the center of the fovea centralis there is foveola, that is a shining pit of 0.35 mm in diameter and located two disc diameter temporal to the disc margin, and there is a foveal avascular zone that is 0.8 mm diameter that lacks retinal capillaries. So at the center of the macula there is a fovea centralis, and at the center of the fovea centralis there is foveola. Now let's know detail about the peripheral retina. The peripheral retina is an area bounded posteriorly by the retinal equator and anteriorly by the ora serrata. So this area is the peripheral retina, and posteriorly it is bounded by the retinal equator, that is equator, and anteriorly it is bounded by ora serrata. This is the ora serrata. The ora serrata is serrated peripheral margin where the retina ends. At this junction, the retina is firmly attached to both vitreous and the choroid. Now, to examine the posterior pole, we have two techniques. One is slit lamp biomicroscope with 78D or 90D. Here, if you see, this is our slit lamp, and this is the 90D or 78D that gives the view of the posterior pole. So with this 90D or 78D only, posterior retina can be seen. And another technique is direct ophthalmoscopy. So in the direct ophthalmoscopy, we can also see the posterior pole. Now to examine the peripheral retina, we have two techniques. One is indirect ophthalmoscopy. So this is the indirect ophthalmoscope with a high power convex lens that helps us to see the peripheral retina. And the second technique is Goldmann 3-mirror contact lens, that is gonio lens. So in the Goldmann 3-mirror contact lens, the central lens is to see the posterior pole of the retina. The second lens is designed to see the equator of the retina, and the third lens is designed to see the periphery of the retina, and the fourth lens is designed to see the anterior chamber angle. So with the help of the third lens, we will be able to see the peripheral retina. Stay with smart optometry and study optometry smartly.